Two people each start with $10,000 at the same 6% for the same number of years. One ends with far more money than the other, and neither of them earned a higher rate. The only difference is one small choice about what happens to the interest. That choice is the entire difference between simple interest and compound interest, and once you see it on paper, you can never unsee it. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly how the two differ. You'll see the rule of 72 that lets you estimate growth in your head, and you'll know why starting today beats starting richer later. Let's put real numbers on the board and follow them, year by year. We begin with $10,000, growing at 6% a year. Same start, same rate, for both methods. Watch what the interest does. Simple interest only ever looks at your original money, the principal. 6% of $10,000 is $600. That's your interest for year one. Here's the catch with simple interest. It always calculates 6% of the original $10,000. So it adds the same $600 every single year. No more, no less. Add $600 a year, and after 5 years you have $13,000. After 10 years, $16,000. Plot it, and you get a straight line, steady, predictable, and flat. 10 years of simple interest turns $10,000 into $16,000. Now let's change one rule and watch what happens. Compound interest calculates on the principal plus the interest you've already earned. The gain starts making its own gains. Year one looks identical. 6% of $10,000 is $600, so you end year one at $10,600. So far, no difference. Here's where it changes. In year two, compound interest takes 6% of $10,600, not the original $10,000. That's $636. $36 more than simple interest, just because last year's interest is now earning 2. So year 2 ends at $11,236. A tiny lead now, but that bigger base earns even more next year, which makes the base bigger still. That's the whole secret in one sentence. With compounding, your interest earns interest. Repeat that for enough years, and the numbers stop being small. After 5 years, about $13,400. After 10 years, almost $18,000. After 20 years, over $32,000. This isn't a straight line anymore. It's a curve that bends upward. Let's put both on one board, so the difference is impossible to miss. At 10 years, compound is about $2,000 ahead. Nice, but not shocking. Give it to 20 years, and simple interest would sit near $22,000, while compound passes $32,000. Same rate, same deposit. The gap just keeps widening. Compounding never needed a higher rate. It just needed the interest to stay in and become part of next year's calculation. Here's the part that fools people, and why most give up too early. In the beginning, compound and simple look almost the same. The curve is nearly flat. This is where impatient people quit, convinced it isn't working. But growth is calculated on a bigger and bigger base, so the curve gets steeper every year. Most of compounding's magic happens in the final stretch, the years most people never reach because they stopped. Every year hands a larger balance to the next year, and a larger balance earns a larger gain. That's a loop that feeds itself, quietly at first, then powerfully. You don't need a calculator to estimate compounding. You need one number, 72. Take 72 and divide it by your interest rate. The answer is roughly how many years your money takes to double. That's it. At 6%, 72 divided by 6 is 12. So your money doubles about every 12 years. 10,000 becomes 20,000, then 40, then 80. Bump the rate to 9%, and 72 divided by 9 is 8 years to double. A few points of rate can shave years off the wait. That's the intuition the rule of 72 gives you. Higher rates and longer time both multiply, and you can feel it without any math tools. The rule of 72 is a close approximation, not a guarantee. Real returns bounce around, and fees and taxes take a bite. Use it to build intuition, not to promise a number. Interest can be added once a year, every month, or even every day. Annual compounding adds interest once. Monthly adds it 12 times a year. Daily, even more often. At the same stated rate, compounding more frequently gives a slightly higher effective yield. It's a bonus, but nowhere near as powerful as rate and time. Almost nobody invests once and stops. The real magic is compounding plus steady deposits. Start with $10,000, then add just $200 a month. Now compounding is working on a balance that keeps growing from two directions at once. Left alone, that 10,000 reaches about 32,000 in 20 years. Add 200 a month and it lands somewhere near 130,000. Same rate. The contributions gave compounding far more to work with. The exact same math runs in reverse when you owe money, and it's brutal. Carry a balance on a card at 22%, and compounding now works against you. The interest you don't pay gets added, and next month you're charged interest on that too. Run the rule of 72 on it. 72 divided by 22 is about 3. Left unpaid. That debt can double in roughly 3 years. Compounding is a wonderful friend and a merciless enemy. The same force that can build your future can also drain it. The side you're on depends on whether you're the one earning the interest or paying it. Put compounding to work for you through investing, and it quietly builds wealth. Let it run against you through high-interest debt, and it quietly claims your income. You don't need to be an expert. You need to protect 3 things: money in, time, and continuity. Start with any amount you can sustain. Add to it on a schedule. And whatever you do, don't keep pulling it out. Every interruption resets the part of the curve that was about to pay off. The single most expensive decision in compounding isn't a bad rate or a bad fund. It's the years you spend waiting to begin. Don't take my word for it. Put your numbers into the curve. Open any free compound interest calculator. Enter a starting amount and a monthly contribution. Then look at 10 years versus 30. The difference between those two is the entire lesson. Compound interest isn't magic and it isn't luck. It's ordinary growth, given enough uninterrupted time to build on itself. And time is the one ingredient you can never add back. You don't need a perfect amount or a perfect rate. You need to start, to stay consistent, and to give the curve enough years to do what it does. So begin today, even small. Subscribe, and next time we build the system that saves, pays, and invests for you automatically, even during your busiest weeks.